Hey everyone, my name is Taylor Sparks. I'm the editor-in-chief of Integrating Materials and Manufacturing Innovation. Now, the paper I'm going to describe today is a little bit different than most of the papers that get published in our journal. I'm proud that IMMI actually features a data descriptor article type, where the article is about data itself. This paper, as it says here, it's a temperature-dependent material property database for 9010 copper nickel plate. This is about providing data to the materials community, which I'm hugely grateful for. As we are increasingly doing data-driven science, we need people to generate data sets that are, high quality like this. This comes from the Naval Surface Warfare Center in Carderock, Justin Norkit and Charles Fisher. They point out that the material that they're going to be talking about, this 9010 copper nickel plate, that's C7600 plate, is critical for marine applications. It has great, obviously, corrosion resistance, but it's got good weldability, ductility, anti-fouling. So they use it for all sorts of things, seawater facing, piping, tubing. It's an important material. It is a copper nickel alloy, which are isomorphous, so you get this nice single phase region between them. And if you're going to do something using the integrated computational materials engineering approach, which we love in our journal, then you have to have models that are calibrated against real data. And you don't always have that real data. Specifically, they point out that the stuff that you care about here, temperature dependent materials properties, which are both thermal properties, mechanical properties, things like that, are not typically available. They're either sparse or non-existent for copper-based alloys, including this 9010 copper nickel alloy. So in this paper, we're going to describe how they go about generating that data and cataloging it for the community. It's awesome. They are the software that they want to calibrate against is this ESI Group's commercial software, SysWeld, and the type of stuff that they need is going to be tested on a series of plate that they got from Mar Metal Industries. This 9010 copper nickel plate. You can see the dimensions where they got it. It was hot rolled and annealed to the O25 temper. You can refer to their ASTM B171 for more on that. And then comes the actual properties they measured. So let's begin with the thermo-physical ones. They did DSC from basically room temperature all the way up to 1500 C. They carefully measured this so you can see the DSC curves to see solidus and liquidus temperatures, latent heats of fusion and solidification. Then they did another thermal measurement. They did thermal expansion using a dilatometer. They measured how much this thing expands in an argon atmosphere. They did it again up to high temperature, up to 1000 degrees Celsius. And once they have that expansion, they can actually calculate the coefficient of thermal expansion values, which are now temperature dependent values, and report those for that same temperature window. They also measured the thermal diffusivity, and using the previously measured specific heat values, now you can combine those together to get things like thermal conductivity. They measured this with the laser flash method. And then comes our thermo-mechanical properties. Here they were interested in things like the modulus, the yield strength, ultimate tensile strength, and the flow stress, all as a function of temperature. They did that with this Gleeble pocket jaw setup in an argon atmosphere. And once they've done that, the final thing that they've collected is microstructure data, where they actually took microstructural images, did serial sectioning to look at this in different regions along the rolling, transverse, and plate normal directions. And they were able actually to do polishing, mounting, metallographic preparation to etch it away. They used Carpella's etchant for 30 seconds and reported all of that. All of that is here in this data descriptor article, which is going to be useful for calibrating things like CalFAD and other models. And I just think it's a tremendous effort, and I love to see data like this being presented. The data itself can be found on Materials Commons, but I appreciate this data descriptor article to know how this data was generated and to give these authors credit for this great work that they've done. Check it out in the latest issue of IMMI.